Welcome back to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Basketball Coaches Show presented by First Bank Financial Center on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Last segment, want to certainly thank Coach Steve Showalter for coming in. He had to head out, and I really appreciate his time. And as always, Coach Paul Wollersheim, my co-host, appreciate that. Coach, when we were coached together at Dominican, there was a number of not many. There's a few rules for your coaches that you had, and they were in cement, man. As assistant coaches, we could not address the officials. We couldn't talk to them, couldn't yell at them, nothing. That was you as a head coach. You handled that. At times, it was hard for Coach McKenna and I, not to say much, but we understood the rules, and that was your law. There's a couple laws. That was one of them, and Coach Showalter said the same thing when we looked at this video that the people at Midwest Ballers put up from the Grafton Whitefish Bay game. They obviously don't have that rule at Grafton.
I don't know. First of all, they've got a lot of assistant coaches. I don't know what kind of budget's going on in Grafton, but they had like 7 assistant coaches.
It was unbelievable.
And 5 of them were halfway out on the floor.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
One of them got a technical. I mean, that was the assistant coach that got it. And Ryan Ellerbusch from MidwestBallers.com was there. Ryan, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I appreciate your time. Thanks for posting that today. That was a surprise. I'm going to set this thing up. It was the end of the third quarter, probably about 10 seconds to go. Grafton, I think, was down 2, but again, the end of the third quarter, brought the ball up, and they were yelling. The coaching staff of Grafton was yelling about a push. And then the kid made a pass. Kid caught it, fumbled the ball a little bit, and took a shot and made the basket to tie it at the end of the third.
Fouled as well?
Well, that's what the Grafton coaching staff wanted a foul.
Okay.
There wasn't a foul called, and their staff, one of the assistant coaches got teed up. I mean, it was quite a scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite a scene. I remember right when I walked into the gym initially, I was just kind of setting up my spot where I was going to film for the game. I look down and I see 2 officials. I'm like, okay, two officials. Usually there's a 3-man crew, but then I look a little bit closer and I see that they're 2 young guys. Thinking to myself before the game, oh, I hope this game doesn't get chippy at all. But sure enough, like you said, at the end of the third quarter, there was that controversial shot that went in. No foul was called. And I mean, to that point, the Grafton coaches, were really the rest of the whole game. But like you said, Coach Waller, I think I've seen a team like Grafton with 6 assistant coaches on their roster. I was quite surprised by that. And then coaches, yell at the refs, between the break during the third quarter and the fourth quarter while Whitefish Bay was shooting their free throw. And all out of nowhere, but halfway through the video, the Whitefish Bay, I want to say maybe like a staff or maybe somebody that works in the athletic department, they approached the Grafton bench, and that's when it really started to get, just awkward. I mean, they started, to at each other. The kids are looking around like, what the heck's going on? It was just kind of a, interesting situation last night.
Yeah, I was surprised and got a lot of respect for the athletic director and the coach at Whitefish Bay. John came over, and I think that
I thought there was 2 people that really had things under control, with John Gustafson, the athletic director at Whitefish Bay, and Kevin Lazovic, the coach who came over and took the other. We don't know who that was.
No, I do, and I can't.
Somebody from Whitefish Bay.
I know, and I can't remember his name, but I've known him for a while, actually, and I'm sorry that I don't. But he got upset. He finally said to the coaches from Grafton, "That's enough. Sit down." And they blew up. Said, "We'll handle this. Get out of here."
Right.
And that's when John came over and Kevin came over and said, "Hey, come on, let's go." I was just a little surprised at, like you, Paul, the amount of coaches on the bench, and the fact that, man, they were getting after it. And the one assistant who got teed. He got teed, and then he came back for more. He could have gotten thrown out of there.
He should have been thrown out. He should have been thrown out. That would have possibly toned things down a lot quicker if somebody. I got thrown out last year for a lot less than what was going on there. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, no doubt about that. Hey, Ryan, tell us a little bit about Midwest Ballers and what you guys do.
Sure. Obviously, we're not here to get out after refs or anything, but we enjoy going to all the games. Tom Bertram, he kind of founded Ballers in last year. JP Tokido really kind of made everything take off. And, we have our website, MidwestBallers.com. We go around to a lot of high school games, AU tournaments, film highlight videos, recruiting videos, really, to give some exposure to the kids and, really help them get their name out there. And they love it. They always say it's like the sports center of Wisconsin high school basketball. And it's really, I think, a great thing that we do for the kids, helps the coaches, see some film on them. And I really enjoy going around meeting the kids, meeting coaches, and, basketball addiction, it's great for it.
I watched, I met you guys with having Dwayne Wilson at Dominican, and a little skeptical of the whole, sports center, everything's a dunk type of promotion of it. But these guys work hard. I mean, they're at all the games. They're putting good stuff up. They're not really asking for anything other than a little bit of time sometimes to interview one of your players and a little bit of room at the game to tape. And I think they do a good job. It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, Ryan, I really appreciate it. Let's touch base here in the next couple weeks come playoff time. You guys obviously pretty busy come regional time, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we'll try to be out at as many games as possible. I know yesterday we had crews all over. A guy filming at the Lacrosse Aquinas game in Bronson Kane down in Little Chute. They have definitely some talent there with Lowe and Botts. And then we were over at the Milwaukee, Washington game last night. So we're definitely out there. And Vincent, too. I mean, just all over the place filming basketball games. I'm a student at Marquette, so I try to do as much as I can and, still dedicate time to studies and get out there and, catch all this great high school basketball. But I love doing it, and we appreciate the words, Coach Wollersheim.
Hey, Ryan, so if you've got a big test, but there's a big game, 30 minutes away, what's your preference? Are you going to be in the library or are you going to be at the game?
I think I'll choose the library.
Right.
I hope to be in your shoes one day. So
Ellerbusch, Ryan, you are not picking that library. I don't care what anybody says. You know what? Maybe one of your faculty members, maybe they're listening, your parents listening. You're going to that game, man. I know you. You've got this in your blood like a lot of us, and you're going to that game. What are you studying over at Marquette?
I'm studying journalism and sports marketing, so definitely love the basketball. MidwestBallers.com has just been a great way to, continue that and get out there and film all these games, build all these connections, and it's just a great thing. Really enjoy, covering it.
You bet. Ryan Ellerbusch, MidwestBallers.com. Thanks a lot for a couple minutes of your time. Get back in the library, Ryan.
Thanks. Sounds good, guys.
You got it.
Turn me on.
Thank you. Hey, one thing before we got to get done here, the amount of assistant coaches at some of these games that we're going to, Paul, is unbelievable.
Well, I think the point here is what you see coming from the pros, pro basketball and college basketball, trickling down to the high school level. That doesn't really have any business being at the high school level. You'll the 5 or 6 assistants where they're spending 30 to 45 seconds huddled up during a timeout.
Right.
And then they come back with, 15 seconds of genius that they've extracted from the 45-second huddle.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't.
We
I don't
always had
that.
2, and then maybe a volunteer, Philippe, I think, would hang out with us for a while. But we normally had, there was 2 guys.
I think there's too much room for the not everybody not being on the same message when you have 5 or 6 people. Just for example, there's ways you want to defend a screen. A ball screen, for example. Are all 6 coaches at practice every single night understanding the message that goes to your team? And if they're not, why are they talking to the coach during a game? I don't understand that.
It'd be interesting to talk. I know a couple of the games we've been to, a couple guys that are friends of the show that have a lot of assistants. I'd love to talk to them about that and how they keep the message consistent. I mean, do they sit as a staff, and does the head guy say, look, this is exactly – I mean, you can't be on the same page on everything, though. You can't.
I just don't – somebody who's not at practice every day, what do they have to bring to the table during a game? And maybe there is some things, but
Sure.
Maybe, if you got 5 or 6 guys, a couple guys doing different stats, I just don't think they all need to be on the bench.
Hey, we're getting close to playoff time. You know, there's only a game or two left in conference, and here we go. So we're going to start next week. Start breaking this down, and I'm going to actually be out of town in 2 weeks. So you're going to run the show, man. Holy moly!
You're in trouble.
Yeah, and Spark's gone too. So we'll have somebody here with you, but you know what? Good luck, Paul. You
yeah. Do you see the fear in his eyes right now? You just realize we're both not here.
You're not. Hopefully,
I'm
you're
gonna
not.
have about 8 coaches in here.
All on the same page. Hopefully you're not coming back from Vegas the night before, because your eyes look a little glassy to me. I'm ready to go. Thank our sponsors, Wendy's, First Bank Financial Center, Farmers Insurance, Milwaukee, ShirtGuys.com, Smart Choice MRI, Aspen Orthopedics, and our friends at Ideal Logo. Go see Gary and Smokin' Hot Mary. I appreciate you listening. You've been listening to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Basketball Coaches Show. As always, presented by First Bank Financial Center on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP.